Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We are talking about the Detroit Lions in today's video. We're going to talk everything about this first preseason game, but we have to start it off talking about Isaac TeSlaa. Now, kind of an unfortunate way to end this preseason game, although it is preseason. It just ended on a Hendon Hooker interception. He was driving down the field, and even like Jackson Meeks looks really good, but we got to talk about this guy on the screen right here, Isaac TeSlaa. This guy continuously is shocking everybody, and it's really not much of a shock if you're a Lions fan or if you've watched any film on Isaac TeSlaa. But here's the thing. This dude is so smart. He's so smart, and this is right before halftime. Also, look at this. Look at this block right here by the left guard for the Detroit Lions, number 52, right here. Absolutely insane. Now, we've been talking Isaac Iced T on this channel for like just weeks and weeks and weeks. All I want to see and what everybody else wants to see, we're out here saying he's going to be wide receiver number 3 for this Lions team, and that has no disrespect to Khalif. It's no shade to Tim Patrick. It's just that's how good this guy looks like he's going to be. And I get it, it's preseason and you're going up, you're playing with the second string Lions. We want to see him start getting first team reps. That's what we all want to see. But folks, just even look at this route. So once again, this is Isaac TeSlaa right here. I really hope the starters run. You can see him a little bit. I'll show you a better angle of this, but it's a really good route. And we saw him last week against the Atlanta Falcons just come down with a very similar snag. And, maybe the other angle is better. Look at how late it takes him, in a good way, to bring his hands up to catch this football. So what that is doing is that's having this Miami Dolphins defender who's not really even in good position anyways. It's just he's delaying the signal for number 26 on Miami right here to possibly deflect this football. So you can see it goes up very late, very smart, very high IQ guy. He runs awesome routes. But we got this whole preseason game to talk about, so let's get right into it. A couple of quick comments here. We said it in the last clip. Kyle Allen's quarterback number 2. All right, he's quarterback number 2. One interesting phenomenon that's going on right now with the Detroit Lions is the last wide receiver spot. Now, it's pretty much between, it looks like, Dominic Love It out of Georgia and Jackson Meeks from Syracuse. Now, here's the thing. Love It didn't play last week because of an injury, and Jackson Meeks continues to do well. Right here, number 83. This guy, it's interesting. He had 7 catches for 93 yards and a touchdown. This touchdown right here is second one of the preseason. He's 6'2", about 220 pounds. He was good for Syracuse last year. And there are just so many good wide receivers in the National Football League, or I should say, college football, where a lot of these guys, they just don't even end up getting drafted. And this, I love it. And we'll talk about Dominic Love It in just a second, because in an ideal world, both of these guys make the roster. You usually don't bring on 7 receivers ever, though. But hopefully, whoever doesn't make the roster, pick them up on the practice squad. This right here is big because it's Kyle Allen, all right? The biggest question mark was who's quarterback 2. I've been saying on this channel, I don't think he's on the roster, and now I feel good saying it's going to be Kyle Allen. But what you're going to see here is beautiful. It looks like Zolstra is running a seam here, and you're going to see pretty much these 2 defenders for Miami. They're going to get so confused. But as we can tell right here, it's 4th and 7. All right, it took the Lions a very long time to get anything going offensively. This was the drive where they pretty much did. I saw a funny tweet, I think it was from Jeremy Reisman. He was saying, do the refs have a preseason flag quota to hit? But what you're going to see here is, I don't know if you can even hear my stomach growling, you lose both of these 2 defenders. Right, they're following, I want to say that's Zolstra. I don't want to get it wrong, though, but that is my guess, but it's probably wrong, so I'll just shut up about it. This is a beautiful kind of screenplay. You see this all the time in the National Football League, and I mean, sometimes it BS league it's called, sometimes it is, kind of like a BS move, but anyways, not here. This is just great execution from everybody on 4th and 7, making Kyle Allen, I'll just tell you Kyle Allen's stats. 14-17, 124, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But let's keep it moving, folks. Hit that like button for me if you don't mind. Try to get this one to 500 likes, folks. I really appreciate you guys. One more Jackson Meeks. Just kind of hype here because this is a beautiful route. You can see him lining up in the slot. This is going to be Jackson Meeks. This is 1 minute left, so I think it might be the play after this, or maybe it's 2 plays after this where you see or you saw that Isaac TeSlaa touchdown. But this communication, or I should say this chemistry between these two guys, it's apparent. And we saw it last week against the Atlanta Falcons for, what was it, like a 63-yarder to Jackson Meeks. These guys have a clear connection, and I just feel much better about the backup quarterback position. Just, we don't have any Hendon Hooker clips. 6 of 13, 61 yards, no touchdowns. In the last play of the game, he threw that interception, which sealed the deal for the Miami Dolphins. They were rolling down the field, and it just, tough luck of the draw. I would actually describe that as how Hendon Hooker played, a tough luck of the draw. His teammates weren't really doing the best to help him out in this football game, but he also wasn't perfect. He wasn't. It might be the end of Hendon Hooker's time in Detroit area, which feels really crappy to say it. So there's still another preseason game. So forget I said that, and let me know your thoughts on the backup QB position down below. So on this channel, I've been really saying that I think Kelvin Shepard, the new defense coordinator, I think whether we're talking offensively or defensively, I think this Lions team is going to just operationally be better. They're probably not going to result in a 15-2 record, but I just think systematic, like from a foundational level, I think it's going to be really good. And I know this is just preseason. This is the 1 sack of the day from Isaac Ukwu. Like Zeke Turner had 9 tackles. Stewart had a forced fumble, 4 tackles. These guys looked really good. Also keep in mind there was no Tyleik Williams today. There was no Tate Ratledge. There were no of those, or either of their first 2 rookies being selected. But this is 4th and 4. Obviously the Lions end up scoring in that first TeSlaa clip we ended up showing you, but you can see like Pittman, number 41, is on this play right here. Uku's getting the sack, and it's preseason, but I just really like how aggressive the Lions defense has been already, whether it's the defensive backs, whether it's the defensive line, whether it's Kelvin Shepard's play calling. This is the only defensive clip we have at this time, so I just wanted to say I've been impressed, especially today and in the first half of this Detroit Lions defense. I know they lost and gave up 24, but it's preseason, whatever. All right, so like we were saying earlier on in the video, we're kind of looking at that last Lions wide receiver spot, and who knows what's going to happen, to be quite honest with you. Here's Dominic Love It. In the receiving game, he had 2 catches for 14 yards on 3 targets. He had a really good Hall of Fame game. I can't really show you full NFL clips, so there's 9:17 left in this football game, in the third quarter, and they're punting it. All right, but what you're going to end up seeing here, and this is Dominic Love It right here. He's running, he's gunning, he's unbelievably quick, and the Dolphins returner just does not make a play. He botches it. Love It ends up scooping it. Perfect technique as far as scooping it. I feel like all the time you see scoops, no matter what it is, special teams or a fumble recovery from a defensive edge, a defensive tackle. Usually you fall on the football just so you can try and secure it. Like if it's a botched snap and it goes over your quarterback's head, it's also your quarterback. Have him fall onto the football, not do too much anything crazy. Love It just easily picks this ball up. And like I said, I can't really show you everything. He gets right there. All right, maybe I'll show you. Sorry, NFL. So he's fast, and this ends up getting negated because I actually don't even quite really remember the reason it got negated, but it did get negated. I'm trying to think of the reason. Maybe he got touched. Love It got touched. I think they actually, what happened? I think the refs called their whistle, and that's what ended up happening. But folks, that's all we got for today. If you guys want a more deeper dive, we're going to be doing that on my Detroit Lions channel, Will Upton Lions. I'll pin that in the comment section. I'll put it in the bio of this video. I had a good day, man. I like watching Detroit Lions football. My Green Bay Packers were on. We decided to go with the Lions. Could only watch one of them. None of this stuff's on TV. I wish preseason. If you have League Pass, it should be on. It should include preseason. That's just my opinion. But folks, we got a lot to talk about on the Lions channel, but I hope you enjoyed this one. Hit that like button. Hit that sub button if you haven't already, and we will see you soon. Peace.